Hello friends, it gives me immense pleasure to meet you all through this YouTube lecture on social business strategy. Let me first introduce myself. I am Professor A.S. Pillai, the 6th professional coach credential holder from International Coach Federation, which is a unique credential that very few people in India have achieved. I am a professional and leadership coach, and I am a management consultant in the IT and telecom field, having over 25 years of experience from the industry. And I'm very glad to be associated with WeSchool, delivering lectures and WeTube lectures. This particular lecture is about social media business strategy. What does it mean? Social media is a phenomenon in our times. Even few years back, we never had thought about a humongous transformation that happens to humankind by the way of social media innovation. So there are multiple things that run in our mind when it comes to how do I create a social business strategy for my organization, for my business. If you are a startup company, if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are working in a company where you are heading a marketing department and you are interested with coming out with a social business strategy. So this we are going to talk about today in detail, because there are certain concepts which are misplaced. There are certain areas which we don't consider when we put a holistic strategy around social business. Because this is an area where one company, any enterprise, small, medium or large, can clearly leverage and unlock its potential in the marketplace to take their products and services and have client interface on a regular basis to take the business to the next level. So we'll be talking about that. So before we get into the detailed discussion on social business strategy, I like this quote by Albert Einstein: "Strive not to be a man of success, but rather try to be a man of value." This is a very statement which is clearly reflecting on a person's commitment towards creating value. It's not about success. It's not about failure. In failure, you keep learning. But in the whole process, how do you create value for all the stakeholders? So it just doesn't apply to an individual. It applies to an organization, enterprise, whether it is a small or a medium or a large enterprise. How that organization is able to create value for its stakeholders. The stakeholders could be the promoters, the employees, the customers, the partners. So the entire stakeholder value creation is of paramount importance in business. Similar way, social business strategy is all about creating value for all stakeholders. If you are able to make an impact by creating stakeholder value creation, that means you've reached the place of success. And that's what exactly this quote is all about. I like this quote. I'm sure you will like it. And we will take this as a example, and we build our whole discussion around how do we create value through a successful, holistic, credible social business strategy going forward. Social media versus social business strategy. I said certain concepts are misplaced among us. So it is better to get clarity, and I would love to see some feedback from all of you, those who are watching this YouTube lecture. So let's get this right, because most of us feel that by having a successful social media plan that presents that in itself is a social business strategy. So I think we should be able to clearly differentiate between social media and social business strategy for an organization. Let me give an example. I wrote a feedback on the social media network about a product, a consumer product from a company. But fortunately, the head of service department had replied to me, and then he said someone from the company would call me. Then I got a call from the technical support personnel. They are from the call center, and they kind of asked for the entire details about my problem. And then it took 4 to 8 hours before this problem got solved. But one thing, if you observe, there is no holistic integrated way of looking at the customer problem from the social media channel to the customer's CRM application, the CRM management, customer relationship management available across the enterprise. So there is no integration. So the problems were repeated as it was told to the CEO, as it was told to the head of the service department, and to the technical support executive. So there is no way of capturing this customer feedback and information from the social media channel back to the mainstream customer relationship management module. Thereby, the company lacks timely action or timely response to the particular customer who has actually made a complaint through the social media channel. Social media channel is still a silo. So that's what it is. While social media presents huge, humongous opportunities and possibilities for any organization, be it a small company or a medium company or a large enterprise, but a credible social business strategy is still evolving. It is still not in place, which is fair, which is understandable, because the whole area is, the whole social media itself is evolving, and we are not talking about, a maturity point where, things have really reached maturity. So from that perspective, I think we must understand, once we understand the problem, then we'll be able to put a strategy how to address a holistic strategy through the social business vision for the company. Social media innovation has been the key to social business strategy. I think we all know while social media is still a silo in the whole process of between the whole process of interaction between the customer and the organization, it has actually presented a huge innovative transformation the way we are interacting in this world. Be it customers, be it partners, be it the corporate management, or it is employees. So from that perspective, social media has brought about a huge change, huge innovation, and that has become a platform. That platform is the key for social business strategy. So while we are trying to differentiate between social media and a social business strategy. Social media becomes a subset of the social business strategy. There is a difference between social media and social business strategy that we just discussed. Social media are the channels where, that's what I said, social media is a channel, are the channels where information and people are connected via a two-way platform engagement. So whether it is Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or any of the social network platforms, today it is being used as a platform, as a channel where information is exchanged and interactions are happening. I don't know whether the organizations are listening to those conversations. What if these organizations listen to this conversation, and what will they be able to do in order to create a strategy to take their organization to the next level? Social media platforms are there. So social media itself is an innovation platform. That platform, the corporates and the enterprise companies can easily leverage to unlock the wisdom and compassion of the participants. What do we talk about here? Wisdom and compassion. Because you're talking about millions of customers, millions of members who have signed up with the social media network. You talk about Facebook, it is over 1 billion subscribers. If you talk about LinkedIn, it is over 230 million professionals who are on the network. It's a humongous opportunity. It provides a huge platform. It provides immense possibilities for any company to really listen to the network, listen to their customers or the members or the prospects in order to come out with a clear strategy, an ongoing, evolving, dynamic strategy to make their story in a manner that really fuels the company's next level of growth. So social media are platforms to unlock the wisdom and compassion. There's a lot of information there. There's a lot of knowledge. There is a lot of experience. And people know each other. People learn about each other. People learn about people not in their network, just not in their network, but in others' network. So I think, that thereby there is a humanity, there is a human touch, there is a human feeling that is really, brought about. So that's why, it's clearly unlocking the wisdom from a knowledge and experience standpoint, compassion from humanitarian, development standpoint. So whether it is compassion or empathy, whatever you may want to call it, I think the whole idea is the social media platform presents a great opportunity to unlock the wisdom and compassion. So let's again, talk what is social media strategy. We have seen what is social media. Social media are the channels where information and people are information is exchanged and people are connected on a platform. A social media strategy defines programs specific to that particular network or the networks within the network and corresponding activity within and around each. So I think we should be clear about this strategy. Most of the companies are currently following social media strategy because they are promoting certain products, certain services. Again, the companies are only interested in some revenue numbers and some marketing and business development. But if the successful strategy would be, we'll be seeing it later, is listening to the customers. We all think that the biggest asset that comes along with the social media or our word is out in the market about our products or services, and that's not the real thing. That's a myth. But the reality is the customers. The ultimate touch point is a customer. We use the social media only for that. I mean, for enriching our customer experience, whether it is customer response or it is customer problems or feedback, whatever it is. There are other corporate functions that can be subset of this particular activity called listening to the customers, and that's the biggest asset. That's a reality. So social media strategy defines programs specific to networks and corresponding activity within the network. So whether it is LinkedIn, the professional network, a lot of exchange of information that happens on an everyday basis. Similarly, with Facebook and Twitter, people give their opinion about a particular current happening. In fact, corporate veterans like Anand Mahindra, he tweets very often. So he conveys to the whole world about what he feels about whether it is an economic issue or a political issue or a geographical issue. Similar way, whether it is Richard Branson or Narendra Modi for that matter, people are using these platforms to connect with the whole mass. I think that's one thing, you become social media savvy in terms of adopting and using and leveraging the network to reach out to different professionals, different friends, your community, your bigger community, your country people. I think that's a good thing. That's one good blessing. I think all of us have really inherited from the social media, which is a good behavior. Social media behavior is a good behavior. A social business strategy is one that aligns the social media strategy with social business goals of the organization. I think this is where the disconnect comes. There is a social media, and you're not able to differentiate between social business strategy and social media strategy. So what happens is the disconnect is you're actually not aligning. You got set of business goals and KRAs for your organization, but on the other hand, you have a disparate and a silo strategy for social media. So both are not working in tandem. So as a result, you're not actually leveraging the information that you're gaining from the social media platform into the organization, from the organization into the social media platform. There is no integration. So that means the strategic business goals of an organization are not clearly aligned. I think that's where we are standing today. If we are able to fix this and then align the our strategic business goals with social business strategy as a whole, that becomes social media strategy, then it becomes a social business strategy. So all our KRIs and KPIs of, across the different functions will get aligned, and the whole support comes from the organization, both within and outside. Within from the employees, outside from the customers and partners. So I think it's a very powerful tool. It's a very powerful ecosystem that we can put in place. Social business strategy, a credible, holistic social business strategy requires having a healthy ecosystem. You can't work on a silo. You need to. We will be talking about the variations and the different applications of social media platforms. How do you leverage all of that and integrate? The organization has to put the best IT practices in place to leverage those different networks available and different business applications into leading to leading to adoption and execution of the social business strategy. So we'll be seeing all of that in a while. I like this slide, this picture. This clearly reflects on how we have moved from conventional way of doing things to the social media led way of doing things. I think anything that's very interesting or any exciting thing happening around the world, it becomes a viral information across the network in no time. So having said that, it is such a powerful tool. It can really bring about a huge stakeholder value if it is used and if social media strategy is aligned with the corporate business goals. I think that's where we are going to debate today. How are we going to do it? So the different things which are available today, we used to do it in a different way a decade back or even few years back. Today we are well connected. Our behavior is on the digital platform, the social media platform. So here I'm not going to go into detail. Whether it is a professional net community or a Facebook community or the resources available on YouTube and TED platform. How do you replace your voice communication with Skype and Google Talk, etc. There is video conferencing available on the fly. WordPress for your hosting requirements of your writing your blogs and website hosting. So the whole way the whole world is working today is changed tremendously. How do you acquire friends while you are in the school and college? Things have changed with Facebook. Facebook has changed the way you create your friend ecosystem. So each and every social media channel out here has certain functionality. So how do you identify what is good for your organization? How do you bring about a process and a system to integrate all of them with your backend system and your front-end system so that you have a seamless way of looking at the whole world and your business in a different manner? I think that is what, why I put this is the tremendous capability that it comes along with this, how the conventional methods have been replaced with social media-led, innovation. I think that's where, the organizations will have to look for opportunities. Of course, there are challenges. Things are evolving. There are a lot of challenges. There could be integration challenges. I think the organization at the CXO level, CEO level, has to sit back and go to the drawing board and debate this matter. It is worthwhile. So how are we going to do that? Let us give some examples. The starting point for any organization, any strategy would be the organization vision. The vision of the organization will drive the strategy for the organization. Then that will drive the other broad KRAs, the key result areas and objectives that you want to achieve. So from a strategic business goal standpoint, any organization would talk about financial performance strategy, customer experience strategy, operational excellence strategy, and people and culture strategy. I think you should give, any organization should give the same level of treatment when you are talking about social business strategy. If you are not aligning these goals with social, if you are not aligning that with the company's strategic business goals, then you will not be able to really unlock much value. So these 4 KRAs, how it translates into different functional KPIs, I think that we need to look at. Go to the next level. This is at a high level. It is at a vision level, at a strategy level, and this is how we drive the behavior of the organization. We are not going to work in a very tactical manner. We are not going to work in some silo manner to drive our social media strategy. It doesn't work that way. The CEO's priorities today, from an enterprise standpoint or any business standpoint, any organization will talk about 10 things. The 10 things that, there could be more things, but these are the 10 things that I believe the CEO would give priorities for his organization. Increase enterprise profitable growth. How do we move into a trajectory the organization grows on a profitable growth model. Delivering business results. Obviously, you are responsible to deliver results to the board to whom you are reporting to. Business strategy formulation. What kind of strategy that I to bring in? Is social media a viable strategy for my business? Will I be able to grow my products and services through social media channels? Which are those channels? What fits to my organization? How do I empower my people with the social media tools and resources? How do I bring in a digital business strategy? Do I have a function which will take care of a digital business strategy, or give it to the same marketing department, which will again take a very conventional and traditional approach? That's why I said they'll take a social media approach that is not equal to social business strategy. So what kind of a digital business strategy you'll put in place? Will you take a business as usual approach, or you will take an innovative approach, bring in a guy who will only work on social business strategy and integrate with all the other functions of whether it is a finance function or CRM function or marketing function of the mainstream organization. So we need to debate all of that and come out with a clear holistic strategy. That is called the social business strategy. The social media strategy doesn't answer the holistic requirement, holistic need for a social business strategy. Social media, cloud, mobility, and big data. These are the 4 big ideas that have changed the world the way it is working today, how it is working today. If you look at the whole world, these are the 4 technological innovations. So that's why social media as a standalone, as a silo, cannot be looked upon as my, the key priority or the key objective to, really execute my strategy. There are other things. How do you bring in your IT systems? What kind of business models you put in place? Do I need a cloud strategy? Do I take a private cloud strategy or a public cloud strategy or a hybrid cloud strategy? How do I leverage mobility? Mobility is all pervasive. Anytime, anywhere, availability, accessibility. So how do I combine that? How do I corporate-wide information and data, analytics? So how do I leverage the information available within my organization? I also listen to the network and gather all the new information about my customers and prospects, the customers and not so customers. I think it's very important. The universe is big, but how are you going to gather? What system you are going to put in place to gather that information and make sense out of that information? So that's why big data analytics. I'm not going to do a technical lecture about these technologies, but the holistic social business strategy has to include these 4 areas as well: social media, cloud, mobility, and big data. Let's talk about digital channels formulation. What kind of digital channels? We had multiple channels. We had web channel, we had email channel, we had telephone channel. We had different channels with which we were interacting with customers, partners, and the other stakeholders. Today, things have changed. The prospect can come through a digital media platform, a social media platform. A prospect can come through a Facebook or a Twitter or a LinkedIn network. So how do we capture all of that? So you need to have a clear digital channels formulation. Business innovation. What are the? How do you create new business models? We'll talk about something in the next few slides. What kind of business models you need to put in place? How do you identify your target customers through the digital media channels? So we need to look at what kind of innovative ideas we can go with to the target market, and acquire customers through the social media social business strategy. Customer experience management. How do you bring about a holistic, consistent, genuine, authentic customer experience management? Operational cost optimization. Can you leverage these 4 technologies to reduce your IT cost, reduce your customer interaction cost? How do you improve productivity? How do you monetize your assets? So you can ask so many questions about this particular operational cost optimization. Are we asking all these questions? Are we still following the traditional method of doing business? The CIOs would be, the CTOs would be very possessive about not letting go of their traditional approach. But I am sure, I can tell you, the CIOs have clearly identified these new areas, emerging areas, as their driving force, driving the primary drivers for the future growth for their organization. So they are also taking business, they are taking part in business discussions, they are participating in business strategy discussions, and they are giving their feedback, and they come out with models where, that's why I said business innovation, they come out with models, IT, the business drives IT rather than IT drives the business. So it is, so there is a clear balancing act between the IT department and the business function, whereby they are able to understand and bring out some innovative models like on-demand model, result-oriented model, etc., etc. So that's one of the area where you have an opportunity to really optimize costs. Business strategy execution. This is again another area where CEOs would have sleepless nights. This is a priority area. So these are top 10 areas where the things have changed, things are changing. This is taken from a Gartner report. Some of them Gartner has come out with a survey from by the survey with CEOs and CXOs, wherein a lot of information has gone into the system, and these are some of the priorities the CEO would assign in formulating a business strategy. Enterprise strategy is changing the digital way forward. That's what we've been seeing. So let's look at some concrete numbers. This is a Gartner prediction report released in February 2013. So here, what are we saying? There are 4 technologies: mobile, cloud, big data, and social media. And we have, as per the survey, polled with the CEOs and CXOs. 18% have clearly said, I will take only mobile platform for my business strategy. 12% have said I'll take big data platform for my business strategy to leverage, how do I unlock sense out of the huge information, data that I have for my organization. 8% only social media. On the other hand, if you look at cloud, big data, and mobile, 17% of them have said this is my strategy. Similarly for social media and mobile. Similarly for social media and cloud, big data. So having said this, the highest percentage of survey has happened on these 4 categories, which is cloud, big data, social media, and mobile. So this is the highest level response that Gartner has got for all the 4 technologies: mobile, cloud, and social media, big data. So that means any organization, if you look at this, there's a clear trend which is clearly saying organizations are already talking about these 4 key areas. Whether it is IBM talks about smarter planet. IBM talks about smarter planet, where they're talking about How do I bring smarter world, smarter finance, smarter commerce, smarter real estate, smarter transportation? So they are talking about smarter world by creating these creating innovation around these 4 technologies. So any company which is adopting IT, these 4 things definitely play a critical role in defining their IT strategy, supporting the business. So that's I think this slide, that's why I said social media in isolation cannot be looked at. So there are other driving forces, other business drivers, other technology drivers, which will make the whole social business strategy a holistic one. Let's look at this one by one. The ideas that have changed the world. The big 4 innovations in the ICT industry, that's what I was explaining about. It comes from, first one is social media network. What is social media network? We have seen social media network is something which is a platform where interactions are made, people make connections with each other, there is huge exchange of information. That leads to big data analytics. So it's very clear that one depends on the other. So getting social media network, if you put a social media strategy, is it getting your product or service to the market priority, or connecting with customers and listening to them is your priority? I think it's a very I think the awareness has to be very clearly there, because the strategy will depend on what kind of intent, what kind of intention that you have for putting this particular business strategy, social business strategy. So it's a myth. People think that I promote my products on the network, social media network. Unless you connect with customers, unless you really tell a story about your company, your vision, your purpose, I don't think the customers are going to look up at you. So you have to connect with customers, you have to listen to the customers and prospects more than just marketing. So that's very important. This forms one of the basics of social business strategy. I think the whole purpose has to change. Purpose is not to sell products, but tell a credible story. Position the value proposition. It's all about listening to the customers about what they are saying, what they are not saying. Listening, because companies generally don't listen, because they are in a fast-paced growth model wherein they don't have time to sit back and listen to the customers. If they listen to the customers, I'm sure they can do much better than what they are doing currently. So reality is to listen to the customers and prospects more than just marketing. So social media network is the platform, is a key to creating innovative social business strategy. But social media network is dependent on the other 3 ecosystem partners: cloud, big data analytics, and mobility. Let's see. The next one is cloud services. Software as a service, you all would have, I'm not going to talk in detail about cloud services, but it is relevant in our social business strategy, why cloud becomes a part of the social business strategy. Because as it evolves, you're not going to take a traditional business as usual, conventional approach. You're going to really take something which is different. You have to experiment with new things, because you can't sit and say that I will own the IT department and let me run my business. I think those days are gone. You need to selectively outsource it. You need to experiment with new models of IT systems build up. So you need to look at cloud as one of the enablers. So cloud comes in different forms: private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. So you have these opportunities available, the variations available, the options available, wherein you can leverage these possibilities to fit into your business strategy. You want to move from a capex model to an opex model. You want to move on an on-demand model. You want to move on a result outcome oriented model. So I think today the service providers are offering various models of engagement, business models to corporate customers. So I think that's where the awareness has to be there. and this has to be part of the social business strategy as well. So not social media network in isolation. Software as a service, because you will be rolling out many applications for creating your own social business strategy. You will need infrastructure, IT infrastructure. You don't want to have a clear, you don't want to really invest too much capex without really knowing the outcome of the business strategy. So infra as a service and software as a service is a blessing that you should leverage on. Disaster recovery as a service, you may want to put a disaster recovery plan, because as the business ramps up, you have to have a disaster recovery and then BCP plan. But that might take 2 to 3 years or to 5 years time, but it is better to have that strategy as part of the roadmap. On-demand services for changing business scenario, create your own IT department for your business, social media business. So I think this is very important, because these options are available today. Why not the company leverage those options available in the market? The third one is mobility and devices. Mobility is a huge phenomenon. The way it has grown in the last 10 years from a pure voice-centric platform to a data-centric platform, I think that's a humongous transformation, I would say. It is today we are not using mobile just for voice. Nobody buys mobile phone for just for the voice communication. It has changed the way we do business. It has changed the way we talk to each other, connect with each other. Anytime, anywhere, we are able to have accessibility. We are able to access information. We are able to connect with somebody. We are able to take we are able to see the whole world in our fingertips. I think it has really changed. It has really transformed. The whole world is working 24/7 by 365 with mobile on your hand, with iPads and iPods and the smart devices. So you don't have to really be in one place, physically attached to yourself to that particular place. So I think it gives a good amount of freedom for you to be resilient, flexible, available online, anytime and anywhere. I think that is a real powerful thing. When you are putting a social business strategy, this becomes a key component of the overall strategy. The fourth one is big data and analytics. We are talking about a whole lot of information being exchanged on the social media network. There are a whole lot of multimedia information. There is gaming information. There is social media information, internet search, Googling, or Wikipedia, digital images. There is a whole lot of big data available, information available across the network, across the world. So how do you make sense of it? From a corporate information standpoint, forget about the whole world. Let's talk about your company. Talk about a company that you're building a business plan for. So how are you leveraging this information, whether it is customer service or financial information or marketing related information or product related information? How are you really making sense out of the whole information? There is a clutter. There is a huge clutter, and how do you cut through the clutter and make sense out of those information and make some decisions, corporate decisions, strategic decisions based on the information that you have at your disposal. So that's where the big data analytics comes into picture. Between now and 2020, the sheer volume of digital information is predicted to increase to 35 to 40 trillion gigabytes, which is humongous, humongous in size. Much of it coming from news sources including social media, blogs, internet sites, internet search, digital images, gaming applications. Big data analytics helps with array of data profiling. The data profiling and mining happens there. That's the functionality. So data profiling and mining functions ranging from data exploration, transformation of analytic model of development and deployment of the data. So how do you model your analytic information? That will help you in transformation of your organization, because you have to work smart. That's what IBM keeps saying. So IBM's whole vision is about creating a smarter world. So now they have created all products and services around that platform, around that vision. So then they bring in the technologies, whether it is IT systems or applications or cloud or big data. All these will become part of the overall strategy. All in all, you can, with all this available at your disposal, you can set the business up using 4 big innovations in the industry. So that's the beauty of it. You can start the business in no time. You can actually start the business if you have a credible social business strategy in place. So how do we, as an entrepreneur, if you want to start up a business, I think you can start in no time. We will talk about it now.